All right, so
I have to give you a little bit of credit for this.
Yeah, we can overdub it later. Just
I haven't had any crazy stories about. Oh wait, no, I do. I got robbed at gunpoint, mugged.
Checking for me, but I ain't checking for them. No.
it's sleazy real estate, guys. But
you.
Jack, welcome.
Hey,
This is
how you doing?
episode 2 of the EP podcast. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Jack here is a good buddy of mine. We've been known each other for what, four years now?
I think so. Yeah.
4 days. That time flies, man.
2019.
2019, man. And then you met me, and then I corrupted you and all that stuff.
You
Got you into, exercising, meditating, God a little bit. God did,
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding, man. How you doing?
Hey man. Good to see you. Should have went over.
A little awkward there, huh?
A little bit, but it's alright.
In the back, I have my buddy Tyler and Kamal. Kamal was in the pod last week. We talked a little bit of everything. Do you want to jump in and wave real quick? And then a few weeks from now, we're gonna have my buddy Tyler on here as well. But now it's Jack's turn. So Jack, we're moving over to you. So why don't we take it from the top? We met at our old job that, I'm going to leave it unnamed for now.
Sure.
Just because I don't want to get into
Sure.
any kind of trouble there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how did you end up there?
That was my first job.
It was a country club. It was a country club.
And Banjo got me in.
I saw him. I told you I saw him like last week
At Deer Park, right?
Yeah, Deer Park. Yeah.
He's an old family friend. And it was like 2 weeks out of high school. I had no idea what I was gonna do until I kind of, I gave it a shot.
So wait, you joined the club like right after high school?
Mhm.
Okay.
I had just graduated like 2 weeks out. That was yeah.
Jeez, man. Okay.
Summer of 2019.
How looking back, how do you find your time there?
I mean, overall,
I know you mentioned how much you hated it there.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh my god. Well, you can say your piece. I definitely went into it like a really reserved and shy kid.
Yeah.
And like I said maybe like less than 100 words like all my senior year to
You were like Twitter, right? You had a limit on characters.
Yep. So stupid. But yeah, I feel like that kind of environment brought a lot out of me that I didn't even know was in there.
Specifically what?
Specifically, like, speaking up about working with a team, about escalating and just, being on top of, stuff. Because I was always kind of like a background person. I was always kind of like I didn't really contribute. I didn't really...
You were the backbone. You ultimately ended up becoming the backbone of the operations because, you ended up being a food runner towards the end. And obviously
I was pretty much everything.
Yeah, you were everything.
Like bartender.
You're a man of all skills. So, I mean, we needed you all around. If we said, Jack, we need you here, you show up there, and the same thing with everything else.
I was the Swiss Army knife.
You were the Swiss Army knife. There you
The
go.
monkey wrench.
That's a great way to put it.
I was the host one day, busboy, food runner, waiter.
Are you trying to get your brother to work there as well? Is that what you last told me? Or?
That was originally the plan.
Okay.
Because I had thought at that time I was still going to be there. But I got a better job opportunity. So now I think I'm going to try and like straight shot him into the labs. I don't think he's going to go to the club.
So before we even go into what you do now, specifically working at a country club, I mean, the country club was my first job ever.
Yeah.
And I was there for 6 years, I think is what it was. Anything in particular to you that stood out to you working in a country club, especially now that you're working somewhere different, that either you miss or thought, this is something different?
I'm trying to think of a better word. I would call it maybe like a culture shock because, like, I don't know. It was like out of the movies for me with like the black and whites and like the fine dining. Like I had never been in that environment. I was always like, either like lower middle class or like I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit like downtown Abbey-ish. Have you heard of that show?
Downton Abbey.
Yeah, Downton Abbey. Is it downtown? Downton Abbey. Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Like Arthur always talks about that show. Like because it's he would be the type of guy that was. Have you guys heard of that show?
I never heard of it.
How is it? What is it called? Like Downton Abbey?
Downtown Abbey?
Is it Downtown Abbey? I thought that's what it was.
I'm assuming. I don't know this.
And it essentially just shows like the life of like a very well-off family, and how they have like their own like kitchen staff and serving staff, and how all of the the whole science behind all that stuff.
Oh, it's British.
Works. Huh?
It's British.
It's what? It's British. Yeah.
Which I was surprised that like I didn't know there was that much like in Delaware
downtown
and like I don't know. I just thought little old Delaware was kind of like I was surprised that all these like big names and like big people were here.
Yeah, I mean, I would say for me it was the exact same thing. I had never been around those kind of people before.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I started working there and communicating with them one-on-one that I realized, this is like a great opportunity to get to know people.
And I think that's part of what I mean when I say like it was a good experience right out of high school for me that brought all that out of me, because I wasn't just a busboy or a waiter. I was that for a certain kind of clientele that is maybe not just your average like walk-in customer at another
customer. For sure. I mean, you got to pay a pretty big fee to even walk into those doors. So
yeah, I feel like I had to learn a lot that maybe I wouldn't have had to go through.
Yeah, I like how one of our common friends here said it. He said members pay to be here. I get paid to show up. And when he told me that kind of like switched my whole mentality of going in and work there. And I realized, we're talking to some of the people on top of the state, and it is true. Some people would pay a good amount of money to even have half hour with them, whereas we're getting paid to sit down and not to sit down, but to provide an experience and then even have a conversation with them.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's how I even ended up where I'm working now. So it was because of my time at the club, and had it not been otherwise, then who knows where I would have been. But here we are now. So you're now in what space?
I would call it's like a biotech company.
Okay, so walk me through that.
So there's like
pretend I'm a little kid and I have no idea what any of that means.
Well, okay, so there's big pharma, and then there's biotech companies, and they're separate things. So big pharma, they're the ones.
Jack, you're gonna hate me.
What happened here? Oh shit! there should be things going on there. Nice, that's so awesome, dude. I love it.
All right, well, we're gonna improvise, right? Because we recorded from there, and it's still recording there, but it's not recording from here. So I'll have the audio take over. All right. Yeah. So it's all right. It's a learning. It's a learning thing. All right. Okay, so we're back in it now.
I'm glad to be a part of the.
We didn't what's it called? It's recording there, so it's gonna have that audio for now, and then it's gonna pick up from here. So
we can overdub it later.
Yeah. We'll do like Korean, like Japanese, Chinese, like subtitles. We're like anime. You know how they have the sound, the voices in anime? I'm not even gonna try to mock that because
Oh my god. Okay, well we'll do it later. We got it.
#1 trending, EMILIO Pastor, mocks Asian culture.
Oh god.
I'm kidding. All right, so Big Pharma.
Big Pharma, they're the ones who make the drugs or the whatever they're making. So if they want to put something out on the market, and I'm not like an expert either, this is just my understanding. They want to put whatever their drug out on the market, they got to go to the FDA, and the FDA says you got to have this, that, the other checked off. They give them like a checklist, say you have to get cleared for certain things. That's where companies like our company come in, where they come to us for the testing. They don't want to do it in-house because it would cost too much money, so they just send their samples out to us and we take care of it. And so my department specifically is virology, so that's viruses specifically that we're testing for.
Is that live virus?
Yep.
Live virus, oh wow.
So there's different clearance levels for different like safety levels, I guess. I am able to be in I think it's called a BSL-2 lab, so I can work with. So wait, what did Tyler ask, just so that Mike could pick it up? Okay, yeah. He asked if we work with like live viruses.
Okay.
And I guess it's not like, it depends on the virus. So we can work with like pseudo rabies. We don't work with like full blown rabies.
Okay. What does that mean? Pseudo.
Pseudo.
It's like not conventional.
It's like I think it's a different strain.
Oh, you said sumo?
Pseudo.
Tyler in the back is doing, not Tyler, come on, the back is over there doing sumo deadlifts.
We got super.
We already had your
rabies.
episode. Come on, you already had your episode.
We have super HIV. It's crazy.
Really?
No, but
Like super, like version 2, version 3.
But so yeah, but the idea is that if they're going to be giving this drug to people, you don't want to, or even animals or whatever it's going to be used for, you don't want it to come up positive.
Yeah.
So we do 3 controls. There's the negative, which we always want to come up negative. The positive, which we will purposefully infect with a virus to see what it would look like had it shown positive effects. And then we have the test sample, which for the sake of the test, we always want it to be negative because that's the good result that we want, but it could show up positive.
So you went into this field not knowing anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you are sounding like you literally went to school. How does that happen?
It feels like imposter syndrome a little bit. Like,
why is that?
Well, because like I don't know, I still don't feel like I feel like I belong there, but like it's just so out of left field from my life.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna be in a lab. I didn't know where I was gonna be.
Do you enjoy it?
I do enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay. So what does your day-to-day look like when you go in there?
So we have to handle we have multiple like tests going on at the same time, but they can take anywhere from 14 days to, I'm sure it goes up higher, but I've seen like 28. So for months, like on different days, there's different steps that need to be handled in this entire process. So we have all these records that get passed around. So all of our lab techs are sharing all these different tests, and we jump in at different points to do different steps. So it's kind of like a puzzle every day. I could be doing something really different. So today, you're not going to know what some of this means, but I had a pass, 1 pass and 2 feeds. Mm-hmm. And
okay.
2 feeds. So basically it's cell culturing, right?
Okay.
That's the biggest thing we do is cell culturing.
Cell culturing, what does that mean?
That means that we have a flask with a monolayer, and the cells live on that monolayer. Mm-hmm. And so we have all kinds of different cell lines. There's insect cell lines, mammalian cell lines, human cell lines.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it looks cool under the microscope. It looks like a textbook. Like it's real neat.
Yeah.
No, you're cool.
No, you're good. You're good.
No,
Go ahead.
I have a question. So,
It's like just we want to be able to pick you up on the mic, so like just do it like a little bit loud, you know.
all right. So my question for you would have to be, if somebody was looking to get into your field, because you're saying that you found it extremely interesting. What pushed you to get into it, to even spark the interest in the field in the first place? Do you have a chemistry background?
So before you even answer that, Jack, just to make sure, because I don't know how clear it's sounding in the background, and just seeing on the sound waves, it's like you're not picking up much of it. But Tyler essentially asked, what even got you interested in that? Is that essentially it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what even got you interested in that?
Well, I wish I could say that there was a specific spark, but
like Jack Sparks.
his
His last name is Sparks.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, this is Jack Sparks. His last name is Sparks.
There you go.
Hence a Sparks joke.
So my dad works in the QA department of that company, and so they were like, "Look,
what is that?
Quality assurance."
Boom.
So he checks my paperwork.
Oh.
Sometimes they got to send it back down, but
Daddy's still checking homework.
Yeah.
So now, since you work directly with your father, do you get to hear some of that stuff when you go back home or something like that?
Well,
or when you see him?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I see him, because he lives in Jersey. Mm-hmm. But I mean, yeah, it's I know a lot more than I would than the other techs do, because I got like an inside scoop from like another department. Mm-hmm. But I guess to answer your question, like I got in because of my dad, and so I was about as new as you possibly could have been. I didn't know the first thing about. I couldn't even tell you what biotech meant. But they were like, we're looking for a kid who's willing to work hard. You don't have to have any experience, no schooling. Just show up.
That's awesome.
And we'll show you how to do it. And I said, I'm your guy.
Yeah.
How far in are you into it now?
So I joined mid-April, and it is mid-November now.
Yeah.
So
looking back, like reflecting on it a little bit, how's your experience been so far?
it's been wild. It's
From what aspect?
well, just almost like I said a little bit ago, it feels like imposter syndrome. Like I'm working in a lab with like the cartoonist like goggles and science, a white lab coat, and you know, just thinking about what I'm doing.
A little bit of
like,
Dexter vibes.
Yeah. I have like I have cells sitting in front of me,
Uh-huh.
and we're making serums that have like these funky, like really bright colors, like you would think in the cartoons.
Yeah.
Putting that on the cells to keep them alive, feed them, taking a virus, injecting them in purposefully, seeing over the course of days how they get infected and change. It just, you know, it's.
Is this something you see yourself doing in the next, 3 years?
I think so. Especially because to be able to do a lot of this, the training, at least for me in particular, took a couple months. So it's not something you just kind of pop in, pop out. It's like if you're going to be signed off on it and invest in it, you're probably going to put in a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Even if it's not with this particular company, I can take this lab experience and go to any lab now.
Yeah. That resume probably looks really interesting. The one line is a country club. Next thing is evil scientist.
Yeah.
It's like the best fucking purposeful evil villain.
I do think, unfortunately, like I'm sure it's up to the business or whoever's above me. I probably would have to go back to school and get some kind of like biology degree.
Mm-hmm. That's something you're open to doing?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, just because like coming out of the whole computer science background, which is what I was going to school for. Right. Absolutely hated it.
You weren't sure about it. I remember us talking about it. I remember us talking about that.
Because, well,
isn't that what your parents are in? Or your dad? Somewhat. I know. So one of your parents are in science, right?
My mom does
biology.
Like chemist, and
my dad
does computer engineering.
There you go. Okay. So.
It was.
That's like coding and stuff.
Yeah.
Which was not for me.
Dude, the people that do coding are the same people that do puzzles when they were little kids, and they would get a kick out of it. They're the same people that would build, the London Bridge with Legos. Those are the same kind of people because they to like go over because like coding and all that stuff. I mean, it's because it's like the smallest thing could mess up the entire thing. The smallest error could mess up the entire formula, whatever it's called.
Well, it was almost either way for me. Either I was having a really good time figuring shit out and feeling cool, or I was pulling my teeth out. Like,
yeah.
And there was almost no in between.
Yeah.
But I think it was just the math side of it for me.
Yeah, man.
I hate math.
Dude, I hate math. I hate math. The only math.
I think it's the math in particular to certain coding and programming.
Yeah. I hate math unless it comes to finances. That's the kind of math I like. You put a dollar sign in front of it, then I'm all on it. The math that matters.
Like at the labs, we have to do like dilution schemes because if you don't dilute the cell enough or the virus enough, you just blast the cells away and kill them. Or if you don't use enough, it doesn't get infected. So you have to get the math right. So like I still use math, but it's given to you in a very specific way that I understand. Is it
something that you put like in a system and it like figures itself out, or is it like are you hand on like figure out this
the records
math?
They give us have like you can plug in your numbers, but it still very much is like
that sounds very sophisticated.
It's a flexible, like you have to kind of know how to work around it.
Yeah.
I have a question: is the units of measurements is it still doing CC?
So we use like milliliters and liters and yeah. Okay. That's typically, I'm trying to think, like microliters. That's about it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, okay, Jack. So you think you can see your brother going into that field as well? Like now that you share, I imagine you share these things with your brother. So is that something that interests him?
I just looked over his report card with him today. Before he left. What kind of
Okay.
Not really. He's a really smart kid. And he loves science.
He has a great sense of humor. We're always liking the same memes on Instagram.
Yeah.
I always see it. What's his Instagram name again? Bubbly something?
Bubby Sparks. I don't know what the whole Bubby thing is.
Yeah.
It's just like
wait, what's his actual name?
Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bubby.
I don't know.
Shout
what
out
the Bowie thing
Kevin.
is.
Shout out Kevin.
Kevin, he's a good kid, man. He's the one who should be in the lab because he loves science.
Mm-hmm.
He going to Conrad, which is a school for science,
Okay.
and all his grades are like, math 77, Chinese 80, whatever, English 80, and then his science classes are like 97, 94.
Okay.
So he loves all his science shit. So he's got more of an interest to be in the labs than I do.
Yeah.
But I think it's I think it's good that I got my foot in first
Mm-hmm.
to test it out, and I can relay things back to him and tell him what I'm doing. He can see if he's interested or not.
Yeah.
And when I tell him what I'm doing, like I show him pictures like, hey, this is what it looks like when I shot those, that virus on that cell, and I took a picture of it, and I show him. He's like, that's really cool. I want to get in that. So
What grade is he in?
he's in 11th grade.
In 11th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
So is that something he wants to pursue after high school?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I blew my eyebrows off my first chemistry set.
Did you? Well, they came back in, so all right.
Walking around like Ronald McDonald.
So, Jack, when you're not cooking it up in the lab, you're cooking it up with instruments.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not like lab instruments, but like musical instruments.
Mhm.
So tell us about that.
What a segue. Speaking of instruments,
Speaking of instruments.
yeah, I like to play guitar. Mostly electric.
Mhm.
I got my first electric when I was 16. But I guess in recent months I've been getting into like the classical like fingerstyle guitar.
What does that mean? That sounds funny.
Well, there's acoustic and then there's like a classical guitar. So acoustic is like steel strings, like you strum with a pick, and then a classical guitar has like nylon strings, and you pluck with your fingers usually. So the guys who like hold it upright versus on their side,
Oh.
they're probably playing the classical.
Are you sure one is just not trying to use their start power?
Well, you can just try to make yourself look cool.
Guitar Hero, in order to use your star power, you gotta bring the guitar up.
Right? Yeah.
So how many guitars do you have? Like a collection of them?
I have the blue one, the orange one, the Hendrix one, I have 7 guitars.
You have 7
I have
guitars.
7. 2 of them are acoustic. 5 of them are electric. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So how do you when do you find the time to play these things? So like after work, on the weekends?
After work, yeah. It takes about an hour drive home from work, so I'm usually beat, and then I just, they're all in my room. Like,
Is it just recreational? Are you trying to do something with it? Are you creating your own music?
I eventually want to make my own music, but I don't know anything about like music theory or like, I couldn't tell you what all the chords are. I just know what sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I hesitate to say self-taught because the internet, I'm like YouTube and like internet taught, I guess. But I just like to mess around. I like to learn my favorite stuff, and then I can make my own stuff in my own time.
Explore from there,
Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you just start recording then?
Oh,
Unless you already have.
I have, but I don't know how to work the program specifically. Like, I feel like if I could just make something and have somebody else like do the.
They producing?
Yeah.
Come on. So Jack needs a producer.
Oh, I have one.
You got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not good with like like getting the sound files to like, I don't know how to doctor it up. Like I can play the guitar. I just don't know how to use the program to record and like.
He gonna have your shit sounding right.
So you gotta link him up with your brother, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. We didn't get your brother's name on the last podcast because we talked about it. Yeah, I'll tag it when I post your episode, and then so I'll ask you for the information once I do, just because it's only fair to get his stuff out there.
I'm gonna tell him too. Like he probably be into this.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah, actually, I have him on the list. I have him. I created a list of people, and then I looked him up on Instagram, and I put him on the list. So if that's specifically what he's doing now, I'm not opposed to him coming on.
That's probably my favorite episode.
So for sure, we'll definitely have him on eventually.
Good.
So there you go. Now is it Khalil? Khalil. You guys can meet, and then you guys could cook something up together.
Cool.
So that'll be fun.
I don't have anything super official. I just have like chord progressions I like, or like, you know, little melodies that I came up with that like.
Yeah, but I mean, just in the sense of like just starting, you know, you're not gonna know if you know the end product is gonna look like from the jump, so might as well just start. You know, like come on, like when you did music, you didn't know exactly what you want off from the beginning. You would just sit there and you would do the things until something came out.
I would just play with it,
right?
Just until something happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, we could just do something like that instead.
Yeah.
And then we could, hey man, we could start publishing your stuff out there. You know, I only charge like small royalty fees. You know.
Yeah. Put the EP brand on it. Yeah.
EP label. So music. So with guitar, is that the main instrument, the only instrument?
That's the main instrument. Well, I have a bass.
Okay.
I guess that's number 8. But I don't know. I want to learn like drums too. I just like the like classic like rock lineup, like guitar, bass, drums. And I started with guitar, and that's my main thing. But I want to learn how to do drums. But yeah, I like a lot of like rock or metal stuff.
Yeah.
Or like progressive stuff that's like incorporating like different genres and like is maybe not like your typical song that you'd hear.
Yeah. So like in your dream home, you would have a specific room dedicated to like music and stuff like that, right? Like just the guitars hung up everywhere, like a drum set, all that stuff, right?
I could like record the drum, get that loop in, and then sit on the guitar.
Have you seen those videos? I don't. They're like old videos. This videos was like one guy's like doing the drums and like playing the flute and like playing the keyboard at the same time. Have you ever seen those? They're crazy. At the same time, somehow. At the same.
I don't think so. I might know his face better.
He's amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
The reason why I bring him up is because you said about the whole looping thing. He definitely does that.
Yeah.
Get some free time, look him up.
Yeah.
So we have Jack, who is in science, in music, a busy man. What does your regular day look like? Walk us from beginning to end.
I mean, the lab takes up so much of it. It's in Philly, and I'm in, Delaware, so that's like an hour drive. There for 8 hours, and then an hour back. And then the rest of my night is pretty. I mean, I don't. Unless I'm with you guys, I really don't go out a whole lot. It's just working on my music or.
Oh, so I'm the degenerate that gets you to go out and.
Yeah,
I'm that guy, right? Yeah, I'm just that guy. Yeah, guys.
Well, I go.
If you want to ruin your life, guys, just come to me.
I go out.
I'm your man. I'm your go-to.
I go out people from the labs a lot though. They've been showing me all around Philly.
Yeah. Didn't you go to the beach with them recently?
Where
you lost your ID?
It got mailed back to me. Okay. So
40 years later.
Yeah.
Dude, you have a beautiful picture in your ID. You have your long hair. Long hair. Long hair, don't care.
It's not the best picture of the long hair.
Okay.
But it didn't look good.
Will you ever grow it back?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
There you go.
I gotta know what it looks like now. It's probably not that much different, but.
So you just what? You go work, you go back home, and then what?
Yeah. I mean, I go out with people from work a lot. Like I said, they've been showing me all around Philly, different restaurants, different bars, stuff like that.
Any specific place that you would recommend?
Man, we went to a couple different places. We went to Fogo de Chao, which is a Brazilian steakhouse. That was really good.
Good, was it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You're a steak guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, steak.
Well, I didn't even know what they were giving me. They would just have it on a stick. They'd be like, "You want this?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Toss it on.
Dude, can't go wrong with a good steak, man. Can't go wrong with a good steak.
It was all good.
We got to go to the place called The Coin. I think it's what it's called. It just opened up in Wilmington. It's like they have a rooftop bar, and apparently they have like an underground bar. I think is what I heard. So it's
a sandwich.
pretty cool spot. Yeah, right, exactly. Rooftop and underground, right? Sandwich. So yeah, Jack. All right. So when we got the labs, we got music. You're a busy guy. You go out with coworkers sometimes. I mean, are you seeing anyone? I mean, I know you're on apps from time to time. So you want to tell us what that's like?
I mean, I'm sure it's different for everybody.
Okay.
It kind of sucks from my end.
Okay. What apps are you on? Is that something you can share?
Oh yeah. No, it's fine. I guess like Hinge was the big one, and then like So I think Bumble's where
We got come on the back. It's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Bumble's like more fast paced. Like I've gotten more matches there, but
Okay.
Hinge is where I've had like the better like conversations.
Why do you think?
I just think Hinge is set up to be more like serious.
Hinge is that okay?
Bumble's more like another Tinder kind of thing.
And what does that mean?
It's a lot more fast paced. It's like swipe right, swipe left. Like it's quick, kind of like whatever. That's my perception. It's a little more casual as opposed to someone looking for like a more long term relationship. I think.
So you talking about Hinge is more like eHarmony?
I guess so. I mean, that, like, again, that was my perception. Yeah. Just from the conversations I've had on there.
All right. So therefore, for the
sounds like you have some thoughts on that.
We'll save it. We'll save it for Tyler's episode. We'll save it for Tyler's episode.
No. I mean, at the end of the day, the whole thing is like, I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Like I keep them open in case somebody interesting kind of floats in.
You said my DMs are open.
But I don't know. I mean, I've gotten a few dates here and there, but like
for anyone that's never been on an app before,
mm-hmm.
and then there's like this, I'm sure there's like a handful of option of apps you could go through. Like, what do you recommend, and what are like some like tips to get matches or stuff like that? I don't know how it works. I haven't been on it. I did Tinder once a long time ago. Had one match, had a date. It went terrible. Deleted. Never again. So that was my experience. Made it long time ago. But
I think
you've gotten dates, which is more than I could say. So walk us through.
I would just say, I mean, the better matches I've had and conversations I've had, there was something that they could like hook onto and say like, oh, like I like that band, or I like that you are into guitar, like I do this. So I would just say like keep your interests varied. Don't make your whole profile about like I love music. Don't make it all one-sided. Try to show all your different sides.
Now, is there science? Now, is it one of those things where you could you like have to pick like you have to like upload like a few pictures and then people are able to scroll through them, or is it one picture kind of thing?
You can do a couple.
So is there like a science to that? Like, because I've heard people that do, all right, let me get one with friends so people see that I'm social. Let me get one with me, like doing something I love so people think that I'm fun. Something spontaneous. Is there a science behind it, or like what's your strategy here?
I mean, there could be for different people. I don't put that much thought into it.
Come on, you got thoughts on that?
It's science.
Hey, get real quick. Real quick. We're gonna get a little.
I was gonna say it's science behind it, but it's unrealistic.
Really?
Just do you. Whatever pictures you have works. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the conversation.
Now, since you're in fitness, did you have pictures of you flexing in them?
Of course. Yeah. That's what give me the matches. What you mean?
Sorry. So get it from. Come on. Play your strengths.
Yeah, for sure.
So do you have stuff with you? Now I'm gonna ask you. Like, do you have a picture with you and your instrument on there?
Well. That's why I like Hinge. There's like a video you can put, and so I got one of me playing guitar.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay. Oh wow! Okay. So, and how about dates? How do those go?
They're pretty good. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't want to say I'm picky, but I just I'm not always feeling it. Like,
do you get bored fast?
Yeah. There's no
sensitive topic there.
There's not an easy way to say it. I mean, a lot of these girls, I'm like, wow, like she's really cool. I like talking to her, but there's nothing extra going on beneath the surface.
What does that mean?
Well, like you can have a conversation like with a friend, but we're not connecting on a deeper,
like an intellectual
emotional level. It's more like just a, there wasn't like a spark, I guess.
Jack Sparks. You got to hear first. If there's no spark, get out, is what he said. So,
February 5th.
February 5th. Why? Are you doing this science thing?
He's like, I'm an Aquarius, so.
You're an Aquarius?
That's not very popular with the.
I have no idea how that. Have you had that where a girl just asks you for your sign and you say your sign and it's like you get like a negative response?
Well, nobody knows what to think of an Aquarius. Apparently, they're like, oh, I don't know.
Well, I've seen this video. What this guy does is they're like in middle of conversation, and the girl says, "You're such a Scorpio, right? Scorpio, is that what it is? Scorpion." Scorpio. It's like, you're such a Scorpio, and then she's like, and then the guy is like, oh, how'd you know? She's like, oh, because that's not even and that wasn't even what he was, and it just to prove that it's like kind of like BS. Personally, I don't. When I hear someone I don't know. I'm just get me out of there. Get me out of that room when someone starts talking about science. This is the same people that believe in fortune cookies and all that stuff. Yeah. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I mean, go flip a coin on a wishing well, man.
See, I think it's a full moon tonight. I'm gonna get a match.
So is there any specific features about any of the apps that you like? Like I know Tinder had the super like. Is that one of them? It's not there anymore. It's all of them.
They all got a version of that.
Do you have like a premium account?
I only did for Hinge.
Okay, so was that like a monthly subscription or something?
You can choose. I think I did like a month.
So what does that do?
I think it just like there's different preferences. They kind of lock the preferences, so I can't say like I want somebody on this height or this distance. They'll just throw anybody at you if it doesn't meet your like criteria. So like,
wait, you could choose someone based on height?
Well, yeah, you can say like I don't want to meet anybody. I don't want to see anybody under. Like,
so Jack, you're like in the trio of labs. You're in the lab in biotech, in the lab making music, and then you're in the lab freaking creating the perfect woman with filters. Like, is that how that works? I'm not. All right. I don't know if you guys heard in the background, but if you guys know, Build-A-Bear just replaced the bear with something else. You know.
Can't imagine what that would be.
So wait, you could do it with height?
I mean, it depends on the app. You can do it with height.
Don't tell me you could do weight. that'd be really fucked. It's like can you able to like this?
I don't think so.
This is dating. This is not like I'm sorry, but the only time I really see like those kind of specifics is like in a porn site.
No, I mean,
like, are you able to choose specific features? Because this started to sound like.
They don't do race though. They have to stay away from that.
It's mostly just like where they live and like.
Pornhub does race.
Or like, it's mostly like by interest, like or like I don't know, political views or religion or like family outlook, like different. I don't know.
That's a lot, man. Yeah. I don't know. I'm personally not in these apps.
I don't like it, to be honest. I just like, you know, I don't know.
You say
you're trying to flex your social skills. There's nothing wrong with that.
I like meeting new people. I just yeah, I don't know. It's not super deep right now. No.
Jack, man, womanizer.
No.
What? Womanizer. Womanizer, scientist, and musical genius. What happened? What did he say? What did he say? What'd you say?
He said he's gonna be more radioactive. He hang out with you.
Yeah. What you mean? I don't go out and talk to girls like, bro. When have you ever seen me like cold approach someone? When have you ever seen me cold approach somebody? Have you ever seen me cold approach anyone?
You gotta save it for his episode. He'll grill you.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna save it for your episode. All right. You know what I should do. You know what I want to do one day eventually. Just like do like some mirroring thing, and then I'm kind of interviewing myself.
Oh my god. You could do
that. And like the intro is like very intense. He's like, guys, this guy. You know, there's something about him that I can't tell. That he reminds me of me very much, and then it flips over and it's literally me. You know who did this?
You gotta shave first. You gotta do one with the beard.
You gotta do one with the beard and one without the beard. Okay. You know who I seen do that actually? And the only reason I know about this is I don't know if you guys know Patrick McDavid, Red of Valley Tainment. He did the exact same thing. He literally interviewed himself, and it's actually pretty good. So I mean, I'm not opposed to doing something similar one day like that. the 100th guest myself. I was kidding.
Oh, not top G.
Oh man.
101 maybe.
So
Or bottom G.
So-
I feel like you can get bottom G.
So okay, what you want to talk about the top G for a little bit? I'm sorry, the top G.
We can if you want. Yeah, we can touch on it.
Okay, dude, the memes though.
Oh, they're so funny. I mean, like, I'm not tired of them yet, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like Andrew Tate catches you at university in his Grand Theft Auto, and all of a sudden he just flies in like on a freaking Bugatti, and it just beats the hell out of you. And then you have his theme song playing like "Torn it down, It's a classic. I really wanted to be him for Halloween, but I didn't pull it off on time.
It's okay.
That would have been funny. I would have gotten
I mean,
canceled.
you look pretty sick, though.
Huh?
You look pretty sick, though.
Well, hopefully he's as relevant next year.
Mm.
Maybe we could do it next year. I thought we could all be like a squad of top Gs. Just for fun. Oh man, I'm what's that? But yeah, Jack. Anything else you want to talk about? Do you have any anything you want to ask me?
No, I think we covered everything. I mean, we started the club.
Mm-hmm.
I shot over to the lab. Music stuff. I mean, I think that's pretty much everything.
Okay. Well, do you post your music on social media or anything like that?
Once every couple weeks or so, I try to do like an Instagram story thing, like a short little snippet of something I'm working on.
Do you want to share what your Instagram is?
It's Jack Sparks 77.
So okay, like you want to spell that out just so everyone knows?
JACKSPARKS _ and then 77.
77. This is for Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have that blue check on there.
Well, I'm not paying.
No Twitter blue, huh?
No. Well, I think Twitter's blowing up,
Huh?
literally
Yeah.
shutting down.
Yeah.
As of,
No, literally. I think the last thing I heard was that offices are literally closing down because there are people leaving, like a mass amount of people leaving.
Yeah.
Like that thing is unfolding fast. Just random side topic. Like it started, at first it was funny because the day he was going to close Twitter, the day right before, he goes into Twitter headquarters, literally with a sink, and it says on Twitter, "Let that sink in." I mean, you gotta be a real life troll to walk into a billionaire, walk into an office like that with an actual sink and make that kind of joke.
Yo, he's actually funny.
Yeah, he's the richest troll on earth. He's the wealthiest troll on earth.
That one picture where damn, I think he was trolling like Bill Gates or something.
Yeah. He said that Bill Gates was I think like the pregnant emoji.
Yes.
Yeah. He said Bill Gates. Yeah. There's a picture that he shows like.
I didn't hear that one.
And they say he's like the pregnant emoji. Yeah, and then so hold on. He starts firing executives left and right.
Mm-hmm.
I tell this to my other friend. My friend is like, "Oh well, he's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. Like the board of directors are gonna boot him immediately if he keeps acting like this." Then literally the next day, I hear that he fires the whole board. I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "This guy's insane." And then next thing you know, he sends like a mass email to all the Twitter employees saying, "You guys better be ready to start working your asses off like crazy. If not, you can leave and you'll get some sort of what do they call it? Like severance pay."
Yeah.
Severance pay.
Yeah.
So I was like, Jesus, crazy.
He came in a little strong.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And there was I think it was there was a politician or something that said something about imagine paying for something that was already free or something like that. And then he was like, "Oh, thanks for your feedback. Now pay $8." I was like, "Yo, this guy's insane." But that's Elon for you, man. That's Elon for you. And then there's the whole FTX thing happening. Have you heard about that? That's more crypto related. I know we're going off topic here.
Yeah.
We're just kind of venturing off at this point.
I don't know anything about that.
Yes.
Justin Bieber's monkey is now like $69,000.
Bro, you talking about Justin Bieber's monkey? I'm over here talking about like a crypto brokerage.
$69,000.
Oh, his Bored Ape. Bored Ape. Okay. I was like, what the hell? What the monkey? Like, where does he have a monkey? Yeah, those things have gone down in price like crazy. I think Jake Paul's like multi-million-dollar portfolio of cryptos is now worth like a fraction of that. But no, I'm talking about FTX because they went downhill, And now it's like I like how someone phrased it. You know how when there's like a chemical explosion, a plant explosion, there's radiation after that. Now there's like radiation with other brokerages now, because that one big brokerage, what's it called, went under, and they had one stadium with the Heat, I think. They signed a deal with the Miami Heat to use the stadium as FTX Stadium or something like that. And now other brokerages too are being affected by it, including BlockFi. I don't know if you guys ever heard about me talking about BlockFi before, but BlockFi is another crypto brokerage that essentially lets you earn interest on your crypto. And I used to talk about it like 2 years ago during the pandemic, because that's when it started. And I used to use my crypto and gain interest on it. Now they've frozen withdrawals. So I got thousands of dollars just sitting in that brokerage, and I can't withdraw it.
Oh damn!
So it's dookie right now.
Yeah,
it's dookie.
Well, everything's taking a shit right now. You got the diesel shortage, which is about to extremely affect food costs.
Yeah.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's also going to affect the industry that I work in.
Yeah. Everything's affecting everything now.
It's messy.
Everything is affecting everything. And then you got Trump not Trump, Biden announced he's running again. Yeah, he announced he's running again. But we're gonna leave that for later. But Jack, anything else? We're closing out.
No, I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. I had a blast.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for the guys for being here as well. Tyler, can't wait to have you on. Come on. I'll if I ever get back on dating apps, I'll throw a quick little double bicep, little tricep flex. I'll take notes on that. I'll get on my piano over there, post that up as well.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Wait, what's that one? What's that? You ever heard that audio that says he's like if he had a feminine side, he would show it, but he doesn't have one, or something like that. He's the most interesting man on earth, or something like that. When he goes to a museum, they let him touch the art. Something like that.
It's
but,
the Tesekis guy.
Yeah, is that what it is? The Tesekis guy?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. But Jack, again, thank you so much, man. I had a great time.
Yeah, man. Here, I'm gonna reach under this time.
There you go. We're doing things differently, man.
There we go.
Jack, thank you so much. Appreciate you.